This weekend is the Oscars. There's never been a better time to rank the Oscars, so let's just jump into it. Fuck.
And may I see Oppenheimer? Yes.
Number 10, Emilia Perez. No surprise, this is last place. In case you've been living under a rock, this is a French film set in Mexico about a cartel leader becoming transgender to escape the cartel. This movie has offended Mexican people, and it's offended the trans community, and the music would even offend the deaf community. This movie is awful and doesn't deserve to be nominated for a single award. With that being said, I predict it will undeservedly win Best Original Song for El Mal, Best International Feature Film, and Best Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana. 3 out of 10, do not watch. 9th place, A Complete Unknown, a music biopic based on the origin of Bob Dylan starring Timothy Chalamet. This movie is just very alright. This movie is a good enough time, but fails in my opinion to do anything special. It feels like the movie is lacking a point, and it's just a random tale about a couple years of Bob Dylan's life. At the very least, the movie is much more better and more deserving of Oscars than Bohemian Rhapsody. There were some good parts of the film. Obviously, Timmy had a good performance. I wasn't a massive fan of his performance because he's just kind of mumbling the whole time. I actually really enjoyed Edward Norton in this movie, much more than I thought, and it's a good enough time that I would recommend. This movie was nominated for 8 Oscars, and I predict that this film won't win anything, but is more deserving for Best Picture than Emilia Perez, 7 out of 10. Number 8, Wicked. I'm actually pretty surprised by how much awards contention this film has gotten. Not to say it's bad by any means, but in fact, I think it's pretty good. But at the same time, I wasn't as big a fan on it as many other people seem to be. Some aspects of the film I actually thought were very good. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are both giving amazing performances and are very worthy nominees. Most of the songs are good. I think the clear standout being Defying Gravity, which might be one of the best movie scenes of the year. It's so incredibly powerful. In fact, the whole third act of the film was very good. I do, however, have some issues with the film. I thought the first 2 acts were just okay, and the movie didn't have to be as long as it was. This film is nominated for 10 Oscars. I predict it wins Best Production Design and Best Costume Design. Overall, if you're a fan of musicals, this is a must-watch and has good songs, pretty solid directing, and great acting. 8 out of 10. Number 7, Nickel Boys, from director Ramel Moss, is the story of 2 young African-American men in the 1960s. Obviously, the thing which makes this film unique is the decision to have it in first-person perspective. It's a genius decision which I love. I know not everyone was a big fan of this. Some people find it hard to connect with the character, and for a small part, I agree. But you can't help but admire the technique that went into this movie. Nickel Boys is nominated for 2 Oscars, and I don't think it will win anything. 8 out of 10. Number 6, I'm Still Here. Still genuinely shocked that this film got nominated for Best Picture. I'm Still Here is a Brazilian film from director Walter Salles, starring Fernando Torres. This is based on a memoir about a mother leading a family through the military dictatorship in Brazil, 1971. This is a very powerful and moving story with incredible performance by Fernando Torres, maybe the best of the year. This film was nominated for 3 Oscars, and unfortunately I don't think it will win anything, but in an ideal world it would save us from Emilia Perez. 8 out of 10. Number 5, Conclave, from director Edward Berger. This is a film about the Pope dying and a voting process to select the new Pope. I don't have a lot to say about this film. It was well written, well directed, and well acted. I was slightly disappointed by a film that I expected to be a little more like Succession, but I still was happy with how the film was. This film was nominated for 8 Oscars. I don't know how Edward Berger wasn't nominated for director and how it wasn't nominated for cinematography, but oh well. I predict this film will win Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Editing, which it both deserves, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up winning Best Picture. I highly recommend it. 8 out of 10. Number 4, Anora. Sean Baker's new film Anora is about a sex worker named Anora, or Annie, played by Mikey Madison, who gets married to a rich Russian man-child, and some wild shenanigans ensue. It's a very fun adventure that maybe drags a little in the second act. Mikey Madison is amazing in this movie and will have a great future for her. Yura Borisov is also amazing in this film, and Sean Baker had a fantastic script and great direction, which really makes this film so good. And that final scene of the movie, wow. This film was only nominated for 6 Oscars, and I predict it will win Best Screenplay, Best Director, and will be the film to take home Best Picture. This is a great film to watch with the family, 9 out of 10. In third place, we have The Brutalist, a 3.5-hour epic directed by Brady Corbet about a Holocaust survivor played by Adrian Brody who comes to America to pursue the American dream. It's an incredible film in almost every way. Despite the 3.5-hour runtime, it goes by at a decent enough pace that the ending ended up feeling like a jump scare, which is also my problem with the film. For what is such a long, slow story, the ending just goes by so quick that it feels like you got whiplash. The acting in this film is amazing. Adrian Brody is just perfect, and I think Guy Pearce isn't getting enough credit for his performance. As much as I love Kieran Culkin in Real Pain, I just think Guy Pearce did it slightly a little bit better. How could I not mention Felicity Jones? Despite mostly being in the second half of the film, she gives a great performance. Easily the best part of this movie was the directing by Brady Corbet. I have no idea how you can make this Goliath of a film on only a $10 million budget in about a month. That should not be possible, and I will be definitely looking at what he makes next. And you can't forget to mention how good the cinematography and score was. It's absolutely breathtaking. This movie is nominated for 10 Oscars, and I predict it will win Best Actor in Leading Role, Best Score, and Best Cinematography. But I wouldn't be surprised if this one won Best Picture or Best Director. It's a great movie that I highly recommend. Ideally, you should be watching it in a cinema to get the proper experience. 9 out of 10. In second place is The Substance, directed by Coralie Fargo, about an aging celebrity played by Demi Moore, taking an experimental substance to create a younger version of herself, played by Margaret Qualley. It is a horror movie and is quite possibly the most fun I've ever had while watching a movie. This is a completely unpredictable and disgusting adventure. Demi Moore gives the best performance of her career. Margaret Qualley is incredible in this film. I can't believe she didn't get an Oscar nomination for her performance. Other than that, this movie was almost perfect, with the only problem being that awfully unsubtle scene in the diner. I think this movie is an absolute must-watch if you can handle it. This movie was nominated for only 5 Oscars, and I predict it will win Best Actress in Leading Role and Best Makeup. I love this movie and can't recommend it enough. 10 out of 10. Now we get to the movie which deserves to win an award this year. Dune Part 2 is Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi epic masterpiece about Paul Atreides leading the Fremen on a warpath to take revenge on the people who betrayed his family and to take back Arrakis. This might be one of the most screwed over movies in Academy history. From no nominations for screenwriting, no directing nomination, nothing for editing, makeup, costumes, and wasn't even eligible for Best Score. I even would prefer the Tim nomination for this over a complete unknown. Denis' directing is some of the best of all time. I don't think anyone else could direct a movie like this. He might be the best director we have today, and we can only hope he gets recognition for Dune Messiah. I could go on for hours about how amazing this film is. I don't have any problems with the film. I am a big fan of the book, and every change they made sense. This is one of the best looking films I've ever seen, and has one of the best scores of all time. This is the best film of the year, and it should be winning Best Picture. This film was only nominated for 5 Oscars. I predict it will win Best Visual Effects and hopefully Best Sound. But if it was up to me, I think it should be winning 6 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Score, Best Cinematography, and Best Visual Effects. But as long as Emilia Perez loses, I will be happy. I'm sure the Academy will expect Dune Messiah, but I swear if Denis gets robbed again for Messiah, I might commit some unspeakable acts. 10 out of 10 Best Movie of the Year. So that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Please comment what your ranking would be. Go follow me on Letterboxd at @1Alex, and go watch Succession. See you later.
So, I just wanted to get the gang together early in my tenure to say, yo.